Hey guys, how's it going? As some of you may know, I participated in the ScoreSpace SpeedJam, and today, in this video, I will talk about my favorite game, the game I made, what I learned, and more. So, if you didn't know, SpeedJam was a game jam hosted by ScoreSpace, which challenged us to make a speedrunning game about thievery within 3 days. A total of 645 people joined, and a little bit over 120 games were submitted. Here's a list of my favorite games from the jam, in no particular order. Paint, Swipe, Quack. Paint, Swipe, Quack is a top-down 2D game where you play as a duck that is tasked with stealing and replacing the Mona Lisa. The game's mechanics were very interesting, and also the feature of being able to see everyone's artwork was super funny. Pixel Art Thief. Paint, Swipe, Quack wasn't the only game that used a painting mechanic. Pixel Art Thief is an extremely polished game where you have to copy a pixel art painting in order to steal it. The pixel art wasn't too hard, but it still gave a very good challenge. The Getaway Goose. The Getaway Goose was a retrowave-like game where you had to pilot a getaway car through a crowded street, avoiding obstacles and collecting coins. While my PC was not able to run it well, I loved the aesthetic, and the menu screen was amazing. Galaxy Grip is a very pretty platformer where the player is able to grapple onto walls and other objects in order to grab gems. I had a lot of fun throwing around crates and mastering the grapple ability. The Cat Burglar. The Cat Burglar was a pixel-perfect platformer where you played as a cat. The levels were challenging, but I never felt like they were impossible. I didn't finish the game, but it was quite fun to play. Blitz Thief. Blitz Thief is a almost click and drag game, but it's really not. It's hard to explain, but basically, you have to drag the thief through the level grabbing loot, blowing up walls, and avoiding running into things. I did find the stun when you hit an object a little bit too powerful, but other than that, the physics and gameplay were great. How not to steal a castle. Sadly, this was another game that my PC was then unable to handle, but I wanted to show it off because the levels had great detail, and the game looked like it felt great to play, and also I really liked the multiple paths. Fat Raccoon Crimes. Oh boy, Fat Raccoon Crimes. It was an experience. You play as a chunky raccoon who had to find all the cupcakes in the trash, avoiding the Giga Chad dogs, anti-tank lines, and machine gun fire.
That's right. Landmines and machine gun fire. And at the end, you fly away in a jetpack.
Truly an amazing game. I especially like the addition of gamepad controls. Hyper Heist. Hyper Heist is a 2D platformer where you must parkour around using wall jumping and dashes to gather floppy disks. This game was honestly one of the best gameplay-wise. The art, music, and movement just hit all the right spots. I will say the difficulty scaling is way off, with the hardest level being the first one after the tutorial, but the developer explained that the levels had gotten changed around right before submission, so it's perfectly fine. Hacktopus. In Hacktopus, you play as a octopus hacker, and your job is to complete 34 tasks as fast as possible. You have a total of 5 monitor screens which you use to do your hacking, each displaying random minigames. The minigames range from pressing a single button, pressing buttons in a random order, aligning objects to match one another, spamming buttons, and clicking buttons within a few seconds. In King's Memory. Once again, I was unable to run the game properly, but from the artwork, lore, and also small bits of gameplay, I could easily tell that this game was probably amazing. My vote for the best speedrun game. Now, remember, this is just my opinion, and this is the best speedrunning game. Not the best game of the jam, the best speedrunning game. Out of all the games I played, my final vote for best speedrun game is tied between Hyper Heist and Hacktopus. While both are amazing games, I'm forcing myself to have to choose one game. So, for me, and me personally, the winner for the best speedrunning game is Hyper Heist. I choose Hyper Heist because of how the time spent on the level is completely up to the player. While with Hacktopus, there are a lot of mini games that require the player to... Out of all the games that I played of the jam, I have to say that my all-time favorite had to be Hacktivists. The artwork was super cute, but also fit the game quite well. The minigames were very, very varied and fun, and the use of multiple screens and everything being controlled by just the keyboard really helped make you feel like an actual hacker while playing. My favorite moments were when I would have both hands crossed over my keyboard, trying to press every single button, and all the screens would come up with that satisfying little green. My game is basically a 2D version of Super Hot, where you have to make it past enemies in order to grab a gem. The game had no art, very simple sounds, and music that Mango had generously donated, all held together by a brush of code and lots of effects. Surprisingly, my game got 37th place out of 119 entries. So I made it to the top 30, which I'm super proud of. Now, my game definitely should not have been so high up, in my opinion. The main reasons being that the levels were simple and easy to beat, the super hot mechanic was never used, nor did it ever need to be used to beat a level, and also, there is no solid correlation to the Game Jam theme other than the lore and intro. I'm proud to say that there were 0 glitches, and most of the feedback was quite positive, so that's a huge plus in my opinion. Now, let's talk about what I learned from the Game Jam. In the game design aspect, I learned how to make a slow motion effect without affecting the timescale. I also learned about adding effects to the entire family to save time between things. One thing that I learned from the Jam, just in general, was that a speedrun game doesn't really have to be like your normal platformer or action shooter FPS. Great examples being Hacktivists, Pixel Art Thief, and Candy Rush. You have a manic button-pressing game, a game about making pixel art, and then just a point-and-click game, and they make for great speedrunning games. And I really never thought of like games like those as speedrunning games. As a side note, I also learned how fun it was to play jam games on stream, and also actually, another thing I learned, this isn't even in my script, but another thing that I learned is I learned how to properly set up OBS with different audio settings, get voice mod to work properly. I also learned how to set OBS up with stream avatars so y'all can interact. And yeah, that was really cool. And also, as a side note, I also learned that reading from a script makes me sound very, very weird. So yeah, this won't sound like my normal video. Y'all probably already know that. Anyways, I've been procrastinating this video for way too long, so I'm probably gonna wrap it up here. I was planning on getting this video out like the day after the jam, and here it is like a week after the jam. So thank you all, and I hope y'all have an amazing rest of your day.